Now today I'm going to be cooking up some pork cutlets. Now pork cutlets are very similar to pork chops, so you can use pork chops and we're going to make these taste beautiful. Now what we're going to do is make up a really simple marinade, and we're not going to make it marinating for very long, maybe 20-30 minutes, just to get a bit of flavour on the pork, and then we're going to cook them up, serve them up and enjoy. So for making up this Korean style pork, I'm just going to quickly go through the ingredients I'm going to use. Now I've got myself 4 pork cutlets. Now as I say, as an alternative you can use pork chops, they're very similar. Now mine are about 1 inch thick, so about 25mm thick, and as you can see there's not too much fat on the outside, so if they've got the bone in, going to be delicious. Now what we're going to do is season them up with salt and pepper, and then we're going to put them into a marinade. Now I've got all the ingredients here for the marinade. What we've got is 70 millilitres of a dark soya sauce. Now in old money that's about 1/4 cup of soya sauce. Then I've got 1 teaspoon, teaspoon's a small one, 1 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil, 2 tablespoons, tablespoon's the big one, of honey. Then I've got a piece of ginger about that size, and it comes out roughly about 2 teaspoons. Now with the ginger, you need to grate that. So peel it and then grate it. I've got 4 good sized cloves of garlic, which I crushed. So, you know, there's slightly more garlic than there is ginger. And finally, we've got this sauce here, which is this one here. It's sriracha hot chili sauce. Now I think in the US you can get that one. You can get it over here, you know, a couple of the big supermarkets do it, but it's a really nice one. That's the one I've chosen to use. But obviously you can use any hot chili sauce you like, but don't go overboard with it because it has got a bit of kick. And I've got a little bit of olive oil there, which I'm going to use just for frying off the pork cutlets to get a little bit of colour on each side. So there's all the ingredients I'm going to use. There's the marinade ingredients. So I'm going to get myself a bowl and make up this really simple marinade. So for making this marinade, doesn't matter what order. So I'm just going to put in the dark soya sauce, and I've got that toasted sesame oil. Just using the silicone spatula to get all this out. And then we can put in the crushed garlic, grated ginger, and we've got the honey. Lovely. And then we've got that hot sauce. Oh, it's got a bit of kick, but it's a lovely, lovely flavour with these pork chops. Now we can give that a stir. So just mix it all around, and that's it. That's the marinade all done. It's so simple, this marinade, but it absolutely tastes wonderful. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a sort of, you know, a shallow dish. I'm going to put my 4 cutlets in, season them, and then I'm going to put this over the top and leave it to marinate for about 20-30 minutes. Now I've come over to the hob and I'm just going to use a little bit of oil. Now I've chosen to use olive oil. And I'm going to switch mine on about a medium heat. Don't do it too high, otherwise you end up, you know, burning your beautiful food. So what I'm going to do is wait for that to come up the heat, and then I'm going to put these pork cutlets in there. Pop those in there. Turn the heat down if it's too high. Now we are looking to sear the outside, but you know, don't burn them. Just want to get a little bit of colour on each side. Now with the piece of pork, I've flipped those over, I've cooked them on both sides, and we've got a wonderful colour there. So in total, I would say they've had 4 minutes each side, just under a medium heat. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add that marinade in there. Give that a move around. Now obviously in the background we've got the oven preheated, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop those in the oven and, you know, keep them cooking. I would say for about another 10 minutes. Just make sure your meat is nicely cooked. So I'm just going to pop that in the oven. Now I'm going to leave that for about 10 minutes. Now obviously make sure your skillet, your frying pan, is ready, you know, it's one you can put in the oven. If not, put them in the baking tray and cook them for the extra 10 minutes. But gonna set my timer, 10 minutes, get those cooking. Temperature wise, I've got mine on at 200 degrees Celsius, which is 400 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 6. So leave those cooking and then we'll come back. Now I've had that pork cooking in the oven. Oh, it's hot, for about 10 minutes. So let's take that out, leave it to settle down a little bit. I'm going to serve it up and enjoy. Now I've just served some mine up, and I've got cauliflower, we've got broccoli, we've got mashed potato, and obviously the main event, we've got that beautiful piece of pork. Now what I'm going to do is put some of those juices over there. Oh, look at that. Lovely, lovely. And in the background, I've also been cooking a little bit of caramelised onion, which I really like. Just going to pop some of that on top. Now that is something special. It smells wonderful. Let's try it and see how it is. Now obviously do let your meat tenderise. Let's see how it is. Oh, lovely. Not dry, it's nice and moist. Let me see how that tastes. Oh. That's nice and juicy. Got the ginger, the garlic, soy sauce, and it goes so well with the mash as well. That is absolutely wonderful. Go and cook this, it's absolutely delicious. Obviously, if your, piece of pork is not as thick, maybe you don't even need to put it in the oven, or if you do, just put it in for like a couple of minutes, a few minutes or whatever. But that is delicious. Make sure the meat's cooked. Serve it up with whatever you fancy. It could be rice, mashed potato like I've got, and a little bit of veg, and absolutely lovely. And of course, we've got this caramelised onion, which I really like. You need to cook that for about half an hour, and you add a little bit of sugar, and you've got something delicious. Wonderful. Thanks for watching my videos as always. Don't forget to like my videos, leave the comments, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and don't forget to ring that bell. See you in the next one, the original Naked Chef.